Matwi is a London-based aspiring actor and stuntman. Currently, he is completing required disciplines to apply for a globally recognized certificate to join professional stuntmen. Having completed 5 out of 6, he is going to apply soon to join the British Register and become one of them. With his proficiency in different sports and activities, including karate, diving, racing and more, he's already got experience working as a stuntman, extra and even minor acting roles. We discuss a deeper introduction to stunt work, the conditions to join the Stunt Association, and his acting experience. Coming from Hungary, Reid shares his inspirational journey of moving to London, with no prior sense of a direction until he got an idea that changed his life. Now, blends in his biggest passion, regular job, being a father and more. He continues to pursue his dream with a positive mindset. Listen to this episode to get a deep dive into stunt work, to find out what exciting project Reid worked on, and what famous people he met on set. Enjoy! Hello Reid, welcome to the show and thank you for joining us today.
Hey buddy, thanks for having me on.
You've got quite interesting story. Can you briefly introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Reid. I live in the UK since 2011. The last couple of years I started working as a stuntman, and I'm also training towards to be a qualified stuntman in the UK. So I'm training to join the British Stunt Register. That's the best way if you would like to get in the industry. And I'm on my last skill now. So you have to complete 6 different sporting skills. I'm just doing my very last one now after all the COVID and injuries and what happened. So hopefully I can submit soon and I'm going to be part of the British Stunt Register.
What is the last one?
It's horse riding.
So you practice horse riding?
Yes, I started riding like last December. At the moment, I'm just doing like basic stuff, you know, how to check up a horse, walking with a horse, doing a bit of trotting, and then soon you can transition to do cantering and more advanced stuff.
I feel like I've got so many questions. I don't know where to start. What are the other disciplines that you already know?
So if you want to join, you need 6 different sporting skills. That's the requirements at the moment. First one is martial arts. You have to have brown belts from a recognized martial arts. I've got black belts from karate because I started doing Shotokan karate when I was a little kid. But then I left it on the side. I did different stuff. I was doing fighting in the streets a little bit. Then I went to do a bit of boxing. And the last couple of years, I just fell in love with jiu-jitsu. But yeah, for the submission, I'm going to use my black belts in karate. I completed dive master course, scuba diving. The dive master is below the instructor level.
With karate, you said that you used to do it. So now, when you basically submit it, do you still need to somehow show them that you still remember it, or just...
I mean, obviously, if now black belt is something you still up to scratch, you know, and you have to show like evidence you can move, you can fight. So yeah, when you do submission, you have to do a little video demonstration what you can do. It's good to mix up stuff. I think they can see like the more variety of skills you got is the better.
With scuba diving, is there also some kind of, I don't know, certificate you receive? Or
yeah, so it's called the PADI Dive Master certificate. If you certify dive master, you can work as a dive master. You know, you're helping out on boats, helping out at the lake, at the sea with an instructor, and you just, you know, take students here and there.
Yeah, just to get a rough idea, how long does it take to complete it?
It's up to you, like, but now they changed the rules since 2020, I think, after the COVID. So used to people just go away to Bali or Thailand 1 or 2 months, completely nice. But now they said you have to have dive in cold water in the UK. I only been diving in the UK. I don't know how does it look like to dive like a nice, you know, warm environment. When I dive in UK lake and the sea is so cold. I finished my one in February. I think it was so cold and shivering. And you have to suffer, you know.
It's like, as you said, diving in Thailand, part of your holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
With beautiful carols, or what do you call it? Roughly how many months did it take?
For me, it took a while because I started before COVID. Then I was always locked down. Then I had a bit of injury. I completed like in a year and a half, 2 years time. And also I couldn't do it full time because I have to work. Yeah, I have to support myself and the family. So it's not like I can just go full time training. I just did it like on the weekends, Saturdays. That's why it's spread out more. But if you can afford, just go away and just put your head down and like 2 months, you can complete it. It's not an issue.
Does it mean that you go with some trainer, or is it part of the course, like a large?
Yeah, so you sign up at the school, scuba diving school. You can find lots of around, even like around London, with some, classroom stuff. Then you go out to the lake, and it's like a long process you have to go through. You have to complete different tasks. You have to shadowing with students, helping out the instructors. You got different tests. It's quite a lot involved, and it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it.
Can you say, just estimate how much does it cost, such a course?
Everything is, I think it was around 1,500, 2,000 pounds. I also bought a dry suit because obviously in the UK, you mainly drive with a dry suit. That was pretty expensive. Yeah, you can spend between, I think, 1,500 to 2.5 grand. I don't know if it's changed since, but it's a bit pricey. As a hobby, it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah. And did you enjoy it in the end?
Yes, I really enjoyed it. Even it was cold and suffering, but it was something about it. I liked it,
Yeah.
The feeling when you come out of the water and then after that, I really enjoyed it.
It's like when you do cold plunges, but now it's a part of the day training.
I've got one out in my garden. I follow like people breathing and stuff. It's really good for recovery and
I actually bought recently a little swimming pool and put water outside, and now when it's cold outside,
perfect.
It's proper cold now, yeah.
That's why I do. I go out, I break the ice, and then just sit in there for like minute and a half, 2 minutes max. And I come out to feel like I'm reborn, refreshed. Anyways, going back to the qualification, sorry. So the next one was the rock climbing. So I do the rock climbing instructor course. That takes a while as well. And then I completed rally driving at Silverstone. So you have to go through different drive lines. You got front wheel, you got the rear wheel, you got four wheel, and you got an off-road section. There's 4 different drive lines, and you have to complete 3 different rally events as well. That's quite expensive.
And with rock climbing, can you do it somewhere on a wall, or do you need to actually go on mountains or rocks?
You have to be outside on the rock, the actual rock. So I went climbing a lot in the Peak District, went to North Wales, up by the coves. There's lots of places in the UK you can do rock climbing.
Did you enjoy it as well?
Yeah, not as much as scuba diving, but it's pushing your limits as well. And also I'm quite short and stocky, muscly. It's a bit different for me than some guys, really skinny, flexible, much easier up on the wall than I'm like, like a very like,
I guess need to have a strong grip.
Definitely, you need a grip, yeah. Yeah, that's really works well for jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, then you mentioned car driving, right?
Yeah.
How was it?
That's pretty good. That's really good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. It's very expensive, but it's lots of fun. As well is very good. If you're good at it, you'll be employable in the industry. It's very good. But you need to be really good.
It sounds like these disciplines are kind of doable in spans of months, whereas, as you said, with black belt, it takes literally years.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
So if you decide it, you can do it, I don't know, let's say in a few years, all of those. But for a black belt in a martial art, you need to do it for quite a few years.
Exactly. But to be honest, I think, which is said in a way, you can choose kickboxing, for example. There are lots of clubs around London. You can be a black belt in a year's time. To be honest, for me, it's like, why would someone be a black belt within a year's time? It's so short. That's why on the requirements, it says if you choose Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it has to be purple belt level, because everyone knows
because it takes so long. Yeah. But now you do jiu-jitsu just out of interest because you don't need it anymore.
Because I love it, yeah. I just love it, yeah.
What do you love about it?
I don't know. I just love hanging up people's neck.
What's your favorite submission?
Favorite one is definitely the guillotine. Different stuff on the neck. I like smash from the top. I mean, I'm still a beginner. Like that, I don't want to sound like I'm like a big expert. But on these 2 years, what I've learned and what I'm doing, I'm really enjoying it. And it's really, reflects life as well. Present life, jiu-jitsu 100%. Sorry, I just want to go back to finish off the skills that I want to talk about jiu-jitsu.
Of course.
So skill number 5 was swimming, which was the hardest test in my life.
Why was that?
So the swimming test, I'm just going to tell you how does it looks like. So it's a 1-hour test. You start with 400 meters as a warm-up under 10 minutes. Then you do 25 meters with 1 breath. You come up in the end. You got 20 seconds rest. Then you have to go back again 25 meters underwater. Then you have to do 100-meter freestyle front crawl in 1 minute 30, 100-meter breaststroke, 1 minute 50, 100-meter backstroke, 1 minute 45. These are all 100 meters. You got butterfly under 2 minutes 10. There is some other sections underwater stuff, which is not too hard. And then you got clothes part. So you have to put clothes on, shoes, trousers, jackets, and you have to swim 100 meter under 2 minutes, 20 meter with one breath, like breath holding, and tread water in the end. It's the hardest, toughest thing I've done in my life. I nearly like puke up in the end when I've done it.
How can you remember the whole sequence?
Because I was swimming like here for a year and a half, like 4 times a week. I joined the swimming club, and all my life is just, I have to pass this test because I wanted to get it done. I failed at the first time in May, last year May, I failed in backstroke. Then I went back, trained even harder, then I passed it in November.
Oh, nice. Congrats. Was it you didn't make it in time?
Yeah, I was out of time on the backstroke. Yeah, I was too slow, basically.
How long does the whole sequence take in the end?
You have to complete it within an hour.
Sounds very tough, not gonna lie.
It's very tough, especially in the end in the clothes stuff. You just have to give everything you got. I remember the last 25 meters, I was going backwards. I felt I'm just going to die. I'm going to die here. I'm going to drown. That's it. The end is here. I remember I looked to the side and my missus was sitting there. She was pregnant with our sweet babies. No, I'd rather die here. They're going to have to pull me out. I don't care. I pushed it and I made it.
Well done.
And it was very tough.
And it was inside swimming pool, I guess.
Yeah.
But isn't it 5 already? Didn't you say that you're doing horse riding now? Is it?
Yeah, that's 6. Yeah.
Why are you doing 6th one? Isn't 5 enough?
No, you have to do 6.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's quite a few.
Yeah. I'm training since end of 2017, 2018. Obviously, I had COVID. They shut down the whole thing. Also, they changed the rules, the requirements to get in. So I lost a few years. Yeah, it takes a long time and dedication, and this weeds out people who just want to quit.
What are some more examples of these sports or activities that you can do to pass the test?
You can do, so lots of guys who were like gymnasts. I wish I'd done gymnastics when I was a kid. Because if you do gymnastics, you can do trampolining, and then maybe you can go for high diving for your body position, and you can do 3 all together like that. I mean, not all together, but you're going to have an advantage in your training. Because all these guys who got gymnastics background, you know, they just smash out these tests. I wish I had some gymnastics, but I never did gymnastics as a kid, nor trampolining or anything like that. You can do motorbikes, gymnastics, trampolining, high diving. Yeah, it's quite a few to choose from.
So did you choose the one that you did because those are the ones that you are interested in, or because they are kind of the fastest or the easiest, or what was the reason?
So the reason was, I wanted to choose the ones which I think I could do it in a reasonable time. And if I was went for example, let's say gymnastics, especially the new gymnastics test now, is so high. If you haven't got the background, you're going to struggle a lot.
Why is it so tough? Is there such a big competition for that?
Because in a way, if you complete all your disciplines and you join this association, this union, you're going to be part of something big, something elite. And they're not giving it easy to you. You have to fight for it, and you have to show that you're dedicated and you can do this stuff. And once you've done these 6 sports, it doesn't mean you're going to be good stuntman. Then the hard work starts. You know, fighting for camera, doing reactions. There's lots of things you don't learn during these 6 sports. This is just like a baseline. In my eyes, is like when you want to get into SEALs, like in the Army, US. There's like a base training you have to go through. That's your basics. Just get in, and then from there, you start your journey.
So that association that you are going to join once you pass it, is it internationally recognized?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have a profile on a platform, which then viewed by stunt coordinators, I think sometimes director or producers. They can find you there. You go all your details, pictures, show reel, everything. Then also they know that this guy's legit because he's done his qualifications. He's good to go.
Do you need to pay like some kind of fee for that, or is it enough to pass these tests?
Yeah, there is like a yearly membership, few £100, I think. It's like
about nothing crazy.
Nothing to go. No.
And how does it work afterwards with getting work? Do you still need to apply, being productive, or Does someone come to you and pick you based on this platform?
So what I've seen, and I was like fortunate enough and very lucky last 2 years, I could work as a stunt performer already without being on this association. Legally, you don't have to be part of this to work as a stunt performer, but it's much better. You got much more options and you'll be respected as well. It's about networking like everywhere else. I'm sure you got the same thing. It's about who do you know. You got the right connections with the right people, you're in a loop. What I've seen recently as well, social media plays a big part. People is putting up like little show reels, even like in the stories, whatever. And then some people look at it and they say, oh, he can move well. Like, okay, let's get him in, try to, meet him. And then we'll see how he is.
Is it primarily through Instagram or what?
I think so, yeah. I think so, yeah. Instagram is one of the biggest ones because basically you can create a profile there. Everything is there. But also, on the other hand, lots of people, especially like old school guys, this social media doesn't mean anything for them. Anyone can be anyone on social media. It doesn't reflect reality. Sometimes you see people on social media, that's just not real.
You want to portray yourself in the best picture on social media, but then what's the reality actually?
What's the reality? And also like set etiquette, like are you a team player or are you just like when you go on set, when you work with a big stunt team, is a lot more into it than just your skills. Your attitude is like, I'm going to go there, help them to clean down the mat. I'm going to make them a coffee. Like, it's not just about your skills. It's a lot more into it.
Yeah, I agree. I guess it's similar with working on set in general in any roles.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
And does IMDb play a big role? If you've got a profile with credits, does it play?
When I go in contact with someone, sometimes I try to set, because, you got your credits there. I think, in a way, is your CV. I'm still new in the business, so I don't want to say. I think it's like kind of a CV. They look at it, what credits you've done, who was working on the production, who was a stunt coordinator there, what did you do? I think it definitely shows something.
Do you also have your own showreel?
Yes, I have, yeah. That's one of the most important things, have a good showreel, because otherwise you can be looking good in a picture, but that doesn't mean anything. I've joined Spotlight as well. That's for actors. I was fortunate enough to have an acting job last year, although it's all been dubbed with a British accent. Didn't have any lines, but that was an acting job.
Was it for Guy Ritchie?
No. That was extra work.
But it was super cool one.
There's nothing understanding there. The Guy Ritchie said, all right, guys, can you just make sure you look tough, yeah? Okay. Action. That was
but still made it into such a film that means something.
Yeah, but those like I always just started work as an extra. That's how it all started.
So what was the acting role you had? Can you say?
So they were looking for, there's a TV series for Channel 5 called Desperate Measures, and they're looking for like a bad guy. He was an acting role, but I wasn't really doing any acting. He was more like I still get shot, I died, and it's more like a stunt job. They put me as a cast. I was part of the cast. We flew to Budapest. It was really cool. And then I had this one credit, and then I could join Spotlight. Spotlight is this big.
Yeah, I think I heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. And then when I got on Spotlight, I started emailing acting agents. I said, look, I've done one acting job. I did some stunts, and I really would like to give it a go. Obviously, lots of rejection. Lots of people say, didn't reply to you. There's one agent took me on, and I'm with them since last August. And I've got lots of auditions recently. So that's how I wanted to talk to you about the video, like how important. You always have to do self-tape. You have to have a look. How do you act? How do you look in front of the camera? Normally, when a role comes up, they send it out to lots of agents, the casting directors, and all the actors have to self-tape. I can say, see you, and then...
So in that acting role, did you have lines?
I had lines, but on the actual shooting, it ended up just being a few words. And even those few words, when the TV series came out, it was dubbed in a British accent. Anyway, I got the character name, I got the credit, I was happy with it. Because it was very cool.
You said it was filmed in Hungary, isn't it? Where you're from?
Yeah, the TV series, if you watch the TV series, it looks like it's in the UK. Everything was filmed in Budapest.
And is Budapest also the city you're from?
Yeah, I'm from, close to Budapest. I was born in Budapest.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, yeah.
So Do you prefer to be as a stuntman doing some stunts without actual lines, or is also acting something that you like or that you would want to do?
I really like both. Some people say you have to choose, you either an actor or you are a stuntman. Look, I've only started, so I can't say like how it's gonna be. I don't know. There's like guys with lots more years of experience. I know some of them doing both. I've heard someone said you can't be both. You have to either be a stuntman or an actor. What I've seen is, for example, I had another job recently. I can't really talk about much, but I was choosing because I had to say a few lines, but also action involved. There's someone's calling it action acting, I think, something like that.
Yeah, like a mix.
Anyways, you're in front of camera, you are not in the background fighting and no one see you. Like, you know, a few lines or just react to something and then you die. Anyways, but I like this kind of roles and you have to gauge character, you know, like I'm there, I'm gonna fight. I love to perform in I like to get into character and I like both. Doing a bit of acting, but with action, you know, that will be my goal, I think, in the future.
Can you say some more exciting projects you worked on?
Yeah, I did something recently. I don't know what I mean. I mean, you can see the credits in IMDb. I can't talk about them until they came out.
Yeah, of course. But the signs that came out already?
Yeah, it was this one with the Channel 5. It was pretty cool. It was 4 episodes. My first proper stunt job came out on Netflix. But then I had to throw a few pints for the main actor, but they just cut it out.
Why was that?
It always happens. I don't know. It always happens. But I felt like, oh yes, I made it. And then you watch it back. What happened?
They don't tell you that they cut it out or that you're not going to be there?
They never tell you. They like, you know, they're recording lots of stuff and then they decide. I was doing a thing for Silent Witness recently. The stunt was I had to run handcuff. So I was handcuffed backwards. I had to run through a forest, hit a rock, hit a rock, and I fall into like a little, like a river, like a water thing. That was pretty cool. But the whole thing is like, you know, 5 seconds. I think you better see me. But I know I was there. I did the whole day, you know, the cast was there. Experience, yeah. But normally in the end, it's completely different what you've been through.
Did you ever get injured during filming on set?
No, not during filming. Not yet. No. Hopefully I won't be yet. I had an ST injury during rock climbing probably 3 years ago. But I mean, you're gonna have like little bruises. You're gonna hit your here and there, but you know, it's gonna be part of your job.
What are some, you don't have to say where or what, but some crazy stunts that you've done? Now you said running handcuffed and jumping into water. What else?
Because I've just started working as a stuntman. I haven't done any crazy big stunts. And, you know, the big ones also going to come when you're in the industry for a few years, you qualified, and that they know you can do the job. There's lots of like talented guys out there who do amazing job. And hopefully one day I can be one of them as well. At the moment, recently, maybe because of my look, I just been like a bad guy, throw a few punch and then die. Like, I love that.
Do you always play bad guys?
Yeah, I don't know why. But yeah.
Have you got like a favorite stuntman or someone you like?
Yeah, there is loads. There was one guy, he unfortunately passed away 2 years ago now. Gonna be 3 years, I think. Yeah, I looked up him. That's kind of like, he was like a professional boxer before that. He went to stunts. His name was Brian Nichols. I really liked his job. He's like just getting into character and, you know, just the atmosphere around. He was always so high up. When I was getting into this industry, I've seen him on set and I was like, yes, I want to be like him, you know.
Motivation.
Yeah, definitely motivation. And there's also like lots of other guys I follow on Instagram or see them. But yeah,
I honestly don't know almost any, but there is one I know. His name is Vladimir Furdik.
Oh, he's from Czech.
Yeah, that's why. And super cool thing is that he was a night walker in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was the main guy. Yeah,
exactly. Oh man, that was really cool.
Very good, very talented guy. Yeah,
because I think he started as horse riding as well or something like that. Yeah. So it just came to my mind. It was really interesting.
He's very good with swords, with horses. Yeah, Vladimir Furdik. Yeah.
And I think he did fighting scenes for Witcher, maybe first season.
Yeah, he's an amazing performer, really good. And he's got the look as well.
yeah, I agree.
Team in Czech Republic, Czech action team, I think.
Oh, like the stunt people?
Yeah, stunt team, yeah.
Oh, wow, I will have a look. I didn't know.
Yeah, have a look it up, look up them.
And what are some dream projects that you would want to work on? Any films?
Yeah, there are. I always wanted to do a Bond film. That would be cool. I don't know what's going to happen with the franchise now. Obviously, there was the No Time to Die was the last one. I'm sure something's going to be.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting when they announce new James Bond, and there will be many more films again.
Definitely. That would be one of the dream jobs for me. TV series would be cool, like work as a stunt team, for example, Gangs of London. I really like. I really like Peaky Blinders.
Oh, yeah. It sounds great. I agree.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I'm happy to any kind of projects, to be honest. I'm just happy if I can be in front of the camera, I can perform, getting into character, and like, come on, like, oh, you know, like this. I love that, the buzz, you know. This could be any kind of project, but
Yeah. When you are in front of the camera, do you listen to orders from, I don't know, stunt supervisor, or actually from the director, or how does it work?
you know, it depends what's the scene, how many people involved, what's around you, what's the problem. So basically, if it's like a bigger something, you've got rehearsal days, you're rehearsing with a stunt team, with a stunt coordinator. That during rehearsals, normally the director, if the cast involved, they come in, have a look at the rehearsals, they got a kind of idea. And when you got the shooting day, the actual filming day, it's very likely they're going to change it around. You have to always be on your toes and look around and listen instruction from director, either from a stunt coordinator or whatever, because you rehearse something, they normally change it because the way of the camera angles, it doesn't work, doesn't look good, whatever. If I'm the performer, then I always want to talk with my stunt coordinator. If someone's saying like, okay, can you do it this way? I always say first, okay, but I have to talk to my stunt coordinator first, let him know, then he can speak with the director. You're not just going to change something without asking, or it's like, there's always people around you, always part of the team, and you work together. The director says like, oh, can you do this, please? Yeah, they're going to ask you to do that.
Is the stunt coordinator like the number one person for you to listen to or to discuss stuff with?
I would say yes. Yeah, definitely. He's the one, he's coordinating the action, of course. Even if the directors or some other guy says something and stunt coordinator is not there, I always want to make sure that he knows if they change something, because he has to know what's going on every single step.
And is there one stunt coordinator for all the stuntmen, or does it depend on the size of the crew?
Like normally it's a stunt coordinator, an assistant stunt coordinator, because sometimes stunt coordinator is so busy doing stuff, he's got an assistant communicate between the performers and the coordinator if he's like that pre-production. Nowadays you got fight coordinators and assistant fight coordinators and lots of like people. I've been on a job when I was just me and the stunt coordinator and then the actors. It was pretty chill. But it was like a big production. You got, I don't know, 50, 150, 200 people fighting, lots going on. You need that communication, and that.
I can imagine it must be difficult to coordinate like a big fight scene or something like that with plenty.
There's lots of pressure, especially for the coordinators. There's a direct pressure from the top, and you always have to look out. For example, I see a stunt coordinator looking around, you have to be there like, do you need something? Do you need something? You always have to be on your toes. If you're not on your toes all the time and you miss out something, it's not good. You have to be all the time and then looking and try to help out your buddies, the team, and the coordinator.
Just a quick one. If you enjoy our podcast, please give us a review on your favorite podcast app, subscribe, or share it with your friends. For more information, visit the show notes. Thank you, and back to the show. Coming back to stunt coordinators, how does one become stunt coordinator?
So again, I would say if someone joined the British Stunt Register, the first you're going to become a probationary member. Depends how long and how much stunt you can do. Then you can progress up to a stunt performer. Then you can upgrade. It's like a kind of grading system. It's been changed recently, but I think you're going up from stunt performer to senior stunt performer. Then there's another one, and then the top, you become a full member. That means you can be a stunt coordinator. In order to become a stunt coordinator, obviously you have to go through a lot. Like for the years, you have to complete different stunts. You have to be an assistant for other stunt coordinators. And then it's like a grading system, like in a school. But also there's stunt coordinators who just been working as a performer for a long time. And through their connection, they started to coordinators. Like there's lots of guys coming from overseas. It's different everywhere. That's the system in the UK, what I'm talking about with this country stuff. In my country, there is guys, they've just been performing for years and years, and they just transitioned slowly to become a coordinator.
Just curious if it can become someone only with theoretical knowledge or if you need to have stunt background as well, like a practical.
I think the more you got is the better. Lots of stunt coordinators got different backgrounds, theater, circus, whatever, anything which is used for the industry. I think it's just the more you got is the better. It's not like a set of rules what you have to have. But obviously, when you go through the years and you gain more experience and you did that, this stunts and you done that and then that, and you're ticking the boxes, yeah, then you're progressing up. Also, I might be wrong because, again, I just get into this recently. I don't know. I know someone just started became a coordinator, like all of a sudden, I don't know how, but...
Have you got like a favorite stunt scenes from some films that you can mention?
I like lots of fight scenes. For example, like the series called The Punisher.
Yes. Josh Bernthal is
Josh Bernthal, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great series.
Really cool fight scenes, like in the prison, in the gym.
Because I think it reminded me when there was a Daredevil TV series as well.
Yeah.
I think there was like this scene where he's fighting so many guys somewhere in a hall, I don't know, and it was so long, so well choreographed. It was really impressive.
Yeah, it's very good. There's lots of fight scenes, for example, this Hong Kong style, the ninja war. Those are good, but for me, I like more like when it's bloody and more like real stuff or pop fights, that kind of stuff. This is my favorite ones. I really like the Mad Max series, especially the last one when they go through the desert with these big trucks and
Fury Road.
Yeah, one of my favorite. There's lots of stuff to it. Actually, I worked with the American coordinator last year who was doing coordinating on that.
Really?
Out in the desert, yeah. He came from the US for a project here. And yeah, I was lucky to work with him. It was really cool. He told us some stories.
Yeah. Maybe you'll make it to the next one. Probably not Furiosa, because I think it's already in a production, but maybe next one. Because it was really cool, like the look of the film and...
Yeah, I liked it.
Impressive, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I really liked it. Yeah, really cool. Also, like, lots of stuff being filmed in the US. For people from the UK, it's not, just fly over and work there. It's a completely different world.
Yeah. I saw that celebrities that they have their...
Stunt doubles?
Stunt doubles, exactly.
Doubles, yeah.
How does it work with that? Is it like regular stuntman that is just similar to the actor, so he kind of picks him, or how does it work with this?
Yeah, so first of all, I think it's all about the measurements. If you match up the measurement, I've seen stunt coordinator, like we were working on something and he was looking someone and matching up with the actor. So I think they look the measurements first, and then obviously the skill set depends what the actor's character can do. Can the stunt double do it well? Is it driving, horse riding, fighting? What kind of fighting? Groundwork, kickboxing? Is all lots of elements they have to look at. And then when you do doubling, I think it's lots of these guys, what they do is, if they get on well, then they're going to take them with the next project and the next project and the next project. Lots of guys using their stunt doubles for years and years, and they become good friends. I think it's a really good thing.
But also need to look similar in the face, or not?
I don't think so, because you're never going to see the face. Because some people told me, oh, you look like John Burt or something.
That is true.
Yeah, but it's come to like stunt doubling. It's not about the face. It's about your move, your skill set. I'm quite like short and stocky. I don't think so with a good double for most of the actors. So it's cool if you look like him was good as an extra, but I think the face doesn't really matter. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. It matters.
Did you actually check measurements of Josh Bernthal, if there is a possibility?
Yeah, but I think I'm a bit bigger than him. I think there was a role and I had to like slim down something. I think it would be doable, but I spoke with the stunt coordinator who worked on that movie, and then I think he didn't like that I messaged. But anyways, they're not gonna take you from the UK unless you're like, the US is completely different. Yeah. And that would be cool to meet one day with him, just for fun. Like, it would be cool. Like,
yeah, definitely.
It would definitely good.
Because he was actually in an episode with Joe Rogan, I think a few months ago.
Yeah.
And it was, really, how to say it, because he's like such a famous actor. So it was really nice to listen to him speaking with Joe and listen like kind of...
And he was very humble and down-to-earth guy. He told some stories what he's done when he was younger. I had a similar stuff, and it's really good to connect with these people through like a podcast. Mm-hmm. You feel like you know him a little bit, but also when he talks, you can see he's like head down. very humble, very respectful, down to earth guys. And also he's just doing his podcast called The Real Ones, and he's interviewing people from the real world, not like celebrities.
Really?
Like for prison or police officer. Yeah, check it out. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I will have a look. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
So, have you got a favorite actor that if you could, you would want to be his stunt double?
Not really. I think I think my body type, I'm not sure if I would be to doubling, because I think for doubling, the more average you are, is the better. Obviously, if there is some big project, someone get you into shape or do that, yeah, that would be cool. But I haven't really thought about this at the moment. What I think about now is just want to finish with my training, get on the stunt register, and along the way, if I'm lucky enough again, and I get an opportunity, I would like to show myself that I can do the job. That's where I am at the moment.
It just reminds me because whenever I saw like any photos of famous actors with stunt doubles, I don't know why, but they always looked so similar. So if they weren't next to each other, I wouldn't probably guess that it's stunt double. I think who comes to my mind, there was Rock with someone, and I think Chris Hemsworth. But it was maybe just a coincidence or just a specific example.
The Rock is using I know it's his relative.
Oh yeah, maybe like a cousin, right?
Yeah, he's a cousin, yeah. He's related to him, yeah. He's using him for a long time. They look quite similar, yeah.
What do you think just came to my mind about Tom Cruise and his stunt skills?
He's amazing. I think he's doing really well. I respect the guy. I met with him once. I was working as an extra.
Oh, really?
Was it The Mummy? I think it was The Mummy, yeah.
Oh, actually, it was because I did a bit of research and I saw it was, I don't know, some website and your name was, I think it was Wiki A, this website that is about specific films or TV series. And there was your name and it was on The Mummy. So I was actually
I think I did some extra work, and sometimes I think when I started, I thought if I put extra work into my CV there's like a website called Backstage or other like platforms where you can look for extra work. When I started, I thought if I highlight extra work on my CV, that's going to be cool. Now I find that no one gives a shit about your report. There's an extra, no one really cares. But that stays on the internet, Some companies takes your name out and put it together with other films, and then your name just pops out here and there. But yeah, I really respect him, what he's doing, especially the last big jump he did on the motorbike is just...
And do you still look for extra work or you focus on stunt work?
Yeah, stunt and acting, yeah, only, yeah. For a few years I've been doing is called special action work. So it's called SPECT. It became like quite big recently. So there is extras, there is stunts, and between there is special action extras. So for example, guys who got military background, got martial arts background, they can do a bit of with that action. They're still extras, but they can be, for example, it's a stunt scene, big fight, for example. You don't want to put just extras around them. You put the spec guys around them and then the extras. So mix it up. It's still extra, but it's good to, meet with other people. Lots of guys training to become a stuntman, they do this spec work because, it pays well and you can be close to the action. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. So do you work like a regular job or do you have enough of stunt work to be able to live out of it?
So last year I was lucky. I had lots of filming work. More than half of my wages came from filming. And also I work as a truck driver. So now I work for just like on a 0 hour. It's a very flexible job, like on a 0 hour contract, but through an agency. We take these big trailers from studios to locate. It's still in the filming industry. But I can take trailers or I've got a class 1 license so I can drive Arctic lorries. And if I'm, for example, now I'm not busy with filming, I can do a few days here and there. It really helps out and the pay is really good.
So it's not like traveling somewhere far away for several days.
No. It's like just, for example, they give you like a unit. You go to Warner Brothers Studios, you pick up Tom Cruise's trailer, and you have to take it down to, I don't know, the next location, which is Dover. You drop it there, you come back, and you're done for the day.
It sounds great that you still stay in the industry.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And I like trucks. I love trucks since I was 5 years old. I said I want to be a truck driver. That was like a big dream. I like big machines, big trucks, and I pretty enjoy it. I like it. So I wouldn't do it like a full-time job, but I really enjoy it. Especially driving through the night time, for example, in London. You put some music on, have a coffee. It's a good feeling. I love it.
Yeah. I'm curious, like, do you still have enough energy? Because I can imagine acting must be tiring, then doing these disciplines, jiu-jitsu work.
And I just became a father of two boys.
Yeah, exactly.
8 years old. It's very tiring, yeah. But I think, it's tough, but that's what life about, just sitting in one place and anywhere. I think you always have to push no matter what, or I've got kids now, I haven't got that much time. I still get the training in. It's time management. I'm really, really lucky. I have a very supportive partner and we can work it out together. Just push it. And it's going to pay off one day. It's 100%. It has to be.
Can you share some tips when it comes to sleep, nutrition, rest?
I'm not the best person, to be honest. I've tried this thing called a keto diet. It works for me a lot because when I eat too much bread or too much carbs, I feel slower. I feel a bit more sleepy. Try to do a bit of keto. Breathing exercises. I found this Wim Hof. I think I told you about that, which it really, really helps a lot, especially if like stressful situation coming in. You change your breathing, everything changes. Especially if you do jiu-jitsu stuck under 130 kg guy who wants to squeeze out your brain, and you just calm down and you start breathing, and you realize, oh, it's not that bad. Now I can think. Cold water therapy, number one. I've got one in the garden. I'm going to there soon. I love it. It helps with inflammation.
Do you do it every day or how often?
Yes, I do a cold shower in the morning. After I wake up, have a coffee. I do a cold shower for a minute and a half. And then in the evenings, normally, I do the ice bath. You come out from a cold, you feel like, I don't know, there's something about it. You feel like you're reborn. You're like ready. I don't know. It's very, very good.
I have to agree. It's a great feeling. It's like you overcome this discomfort.
Yeah, exactly. When I first go in, what you do first, like, you start like panicking, and then you breathe in deeply and you calm yourself down and you really just be in that moment. It's amazing. You can push yourself a lot more than you think you're capable of. That's very important as well. Do every day something which is out of your comfort zone.
And as we discussed stress, do you get stressful on a set?
Again, this depends. This could be stressful, but try to be relaxed. You try not to be, if you can't control yourself, that's not good. You're not going to work a lot, because if you just blow out, you can't do that. You have to see clearly, be calm, especially if stunts involve something dangerous. You can't just go mad.
Mm-hmm.
You have to try to be always control yourself.
And when you are on a set, are you treated, I'm not saying like actors, but kind of like actors, so that, there are runners who give you food, drinks, do everything for you, or how do they perceive you when you are on a set?
So my experience, when I was working as a stunt performer, you always treat you very well. You're part of the crew. You got your little trailer. Everyone likes that trailer.
Oh, for yourself?
Nice. Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, I always be treated very well, especially if you go work as an extra, what I've seen, there was a completely different story. And I think I don't like that when they treat extras like a piece of something, because their work as much as important as other. Obviously, you are kind of a furniture there. I think is as important as the other, because if they weren't there, the whole scene would look, shit. And also, it's easy to forget that they are human beings there. Their mothers, their fathers, whatever they do, they still human beings. Don't forget to be respectful to everyone. But yeah, as far as I go, my experience, I was always treated very well. When I did these acting jobs, there was some, I came out from the trailer. They put like an umbrella top of me, and I said, please, I don't like this kind of cow, man.
Really?
I don't really have a sugar now. Some people like that. I don't like that. It's like, come on, man. But, hey, it's up to you. I think I've been lucky. I was treated always well.
Does that happen that they want to take a picture of you?
With me? I'm not famous. I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they saw you in a stunt or in a film, and they will be like, this guy is going to
let's have a picture for fun. Yeah, that happens always. And then one of my biggest celebrity I've worked with, I was doing extra work, and I worked with Anthony Hopkins. And
oh, wow.
I was speaking with a stunt coordinator in one of the mornings, and he came in. He had like a hat on. He took his hat off. He wanted to speak with a stunt coordinator, but because I was already there, he shaked my hand as well, treated me as the same person. Yeah, and he said, if you guys want to have a picture, come with me after the set. We do pictures together. He said that to us. And I think that's really nice. Like very humble and old school guy, Not many actors do that, I think, nowadays.
I mean, like the impression I've got from Anthony Hopkins, he seems like a nice person.
Very nice, yeah, very nice. Like,
Did you take picture in the end?
Yeah, I got a picture with him, yeah.
Have you got any other experience with any famous actors or directors or any part of the crew?
Yeah, I had few recently. Those ones, they haven't came out yet, so I don't want to talk about them. But yeah, there's some like big name actors or actress, and they were really super, super nice. Very nice with us. It was good experience.
Yeah, that's nice, yeah. And where do you usually film? Is it like in London in studios or around UK or even abroad, as you said, Hungary?
Yeah, I've been to a few places. Last year I was up in Scotland for a couple of weeks. I've been most of London studios. I've been abroad in Hungary, as I said. Yeah, but it's always going all over the place. I think the main stuff is going around London, and then you can go to locations. There's some guys, they traveling all around the world, like guys with double big actors, they take them. Yeah, it's a lot into it.
Would you want to do that? Travel around the world?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, at the moment, I'm fine. I've got these little kids at home. I don't want to go for too far away, or I can take them. That would be cool. But yeah.
And when you go somewhere abroad, I don't know if you can say that, but do they pay like for everything, like the tickets, the food, the salary, everything?
Yeah. Unless you are applying for a job, for example, I don't know, is a local stunt team, for example, in Czech Republic, they're looking for some guys, and you want to join them, and you go to base in Europe anyways, and you're there. That's a different story. But as here, as a member, and then there's a job coming up, yeah, they always have to pay you for everything, of course.
Basically, you don't have any worries. You just come there, do your job.
Yeah, of course. They sort you out. They send you the tickets, you got your hotel room, whatever. Other ones, you got your wages, of course. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Have you got any negative experience from set or from filming?
No, because again, I'm just only started, so I just had good ones. I mean, I had some funny ones, more like, Bollywood productions, like movie makers from India. I mean, they're pretty cool guys, but it was some madness and craziness. I don't want to do it again. And also, if it comes to stunt direction, you have to be really, really watch out when you're doing them, what you accept for, because that things can go wrong very quickly.
Yeah. So how selective are you with stunt work? Does it happen that they offer you work and you reject?
No, I'm not in the position yet where I can turn down work. I take, obviously, if it's no more like stunt rates, undercutting other people, as long as it's the correct rates and it's within your skills and you can 100% do the job, yeah, it's fine. I had, let's say, I'm going to offer you a stunt job, but it's like undercutting. I don't want to do that, because why would I undercut and making harder for myself for the future when my dream is to join this big association, to be part of it? That, I wouldn't do that.
When you want to join this association, does it play a role if you show them that you already have credit of working on stunt films, or it doesn't matter and it's basically just about completing those disciplines?
I think it definitely helps, because it shows that you've got experience, you've done, you started working before. I think it definitely helps. Also, if you have more than 5 years stunt career with, can't remember, is 100 credits or a bit more? I need to check up. But actually, if you got like a stunt career already, a good one, you can use it as one of the disciplines out of the 6. They do recognize that. And also, I think it always helps, because the problem being before, some people do the 6 skills, the 6 skills, go on set first day, and then, okay, what can you do? Can you take reaction? Can you do a bullet reaction? Have you been on a wire? Can you do this? Can you throw a punch in front of the camera to look real? Like, these 6 sports skill doesn't teach you any of this. That's what a lot of people having. And I think there's changes going to come. They're going to change some stuff in the future, because what's the issue is, you do the 6 sports, it's really cool. You're a good athlete, but it doesn't mean you are a stuntman. And there are people who join this association sitting there with 6 skills and they never work. So,
yeah. Out of interest, how many credits have you got?
I think 7, 6 or 7, I think. Yeah.
So when you go to cinema, you can see your name in the credits?
Some of them, yeah. Pretty cool.
Do you remember what was the first one?
I think, yeah, it's a Netflix series, just came out last year, called The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself, or something like that. Can't really see me in it, but my name is there, the credits. So happy days.
Yeah, sounds good. And Did you actually move to the UK to pursue this career, or you moved here and then somehow decided?
Not at all. So I was 20 years old, 21. And we said, like, after what happened in 2008, there was a big, like, crisis and stuff. And they said, like, we have to get out of this country.
Hungary.
Yeah. And basically with friends and with my partner, we packed up in a little 1.3 Suzuki left-hand drive. We packed up everything. I just drove here to England from there. But we didn't even have a sat nav. My father was a truck driver in time. So he gave me the cities we have to go through. I've wrote down, go through Austria, Germany, France, and bigger cities. I was looking at paper and just driving. We arrived. So my partner was a qualified nurse, but she couldn't start work because when you arrive to the UK, you have to apply for your PIN number in order to work in the NHS. So she went to cleaning hotels, and I was throwing newspapers, leaflets, and then I had a job. I was cleaning the streets. Literally, we had nothing. I remember like Saturday morning, 6 o'clock, cleaning the streets around Finsbury Park, and these guys coming from a party, and they just throw their cans, and I had to pick them up, like this kind of stuff, So we had literally nothing. So for me at the beginning, just to have a meal in a kebab shop or have a Coke, it was a big thing, you know what I mean? I was like, wow. Then I found another job. I worked as a gardener. Then I was a delivery driver, like slowly progressing. And around 2016, I was like, I really want to do something with my life. It's a lot more into me, I think, than just doing these boring jobs. I need to do something. And I started looking around. I had no idea. I just wanted to do something. And I see that in elsewhere, they were looking for extras, film extras, who could be passed as an Albanian bare knuckle fighters. I was like, fuck yeah. So I applied for it and I got the job. I was like, okay, so the first day of my life on set, they took me to Warner Brothers Studios. I had to sit next to Matt Damon, what we call Jason Bourne. The whole scene was I had to sit in the back of a truck and just sit next to him. That's it. And the truck was moving. Basically, they were making the reshoot of his face and the reaction as he's traveling. And he just needed some shadows next to him. I think that's what it was. When I was there, I thought like, wow, I made it to Hollywood now. Like, yeah. Then I met with the stunt team there. When you got kind of nothing to do, you sit around your trailer or like in a dining room. And I said to these guys, like, guys, what are you doing here? They said they are stunt guys. And I asked them, what you need to do to become a stuntman? And they explained to me everything. They were really nice. And then I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. No matter how long does it take, I'm going to do this. That was like 2016. And yeah, here I am now.
Well, but it sounds like a great story.
Yeah, it just kind of happened accidentally. But yeah, I'm really glad this happened.
What was that moment, that switch that you need to do something with your life? How did that happen or why?
I think one of the trigger was one of my friends. He came here after, like a year after us. He came here and he was a welder back in Hungary. And he had this idea that he's gonna do welding underwater, like in the sea, like a commercial diving, He found a school, he put some money together and he went for it. He started doing the course. And I was like, man, he's doing it. He's moving up, and I'm just a delivery driver, gardener. I drink and I fight weekends, and that's all I do. I need to do. So that was a trigger point. I need to do something. Then I was just searching, trying to find something really, really hard.
Yeah, that sounds inspirational.
Inspirational, definitely. 100% inspirational, yeah. I always knew I got more in myself than just do like a regular boring job and then go home, drink a beer and watch football. Like I always knew, I can do much better things than that. And then this sign came up. I've seen this advert. I went for it. And since that, it's completely changed my life. I'm still not there. I'm still not finished my trainings, but, I'm really close now. And
yeah, like you are on a great path.
Yeah, definitely.
And it sounds like you had also great first experience, because I would imagine it would be, some kind of bush in the background, but you're actually sitting next to Matt Damon, which sounds like a great motivation for the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. That was the first. Also, it's like when that happened, I didn't see the reality of it. I was just there as an extra. I thought like, oh yeah, I really made it. It was nothing about me. I was just there as a shadow. But it was really good experience. 100% there. It could be illusional. You think you are there, they treat you really well. You need to cut back a bit your ego,
Yeah. And during this journey, did you have moments of doubt?
Yeah, many times. I had an accident. I was doing rock climbing. I just fall and I smashed my ankle. So my ankle went the other way around. I had 2 surgeries on it. The doctor said you might never gonna walk the same way as before. I'm all fine now. It's all good. I recovered. Then financial issues. Because obviously if you do these trainings or work in films, you can't have a full-time job. That's happened. That is always something happened. Then we had COVID. Then in 2018, this association, they said, we're going to change the whole thing. So we're going to shut down. There's no more intakes. And we're going to change the requirements. So I was waiting 1.5 years for them to give out the new requirements. At that time, I didn't know what I was doing, what I'm training is going to be relevant or not. Then I had COVID, then no, but always what happened, I was just keep going, man. If you with half leg, just keep going, moving forward. If it's a half a step, don't worry, just go more. If you fall, you just dust off and you just go again. Because that's just life about, man. You just have to keep pushing. Otherwise, if you quit, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I can only agree. When they changed those rules, did they make it harder?
Yes, make it harder, yeah. Yeah, they had some bit of addition, and since that, it's keep changing, things changing around. What I'm going to do, I'm going to finish off my last skill, and whatever changes on, I'm going to submit, and we'll see what they say, what I need to do, what I don't need to do. Nothing going to stop me now. I don't care. Whatever they change, I'm still going to go for it, and I'm going to finish it off. No matter how long does it take, I don't care.
Do you have an estimate when you might finish horse riding?
Hopefully, like end of the summer or the autumn time, something like that.
So it's going to be soon?
Yeah, it's going to be very soon. Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Is there like some kind of a horse training place in London or some farm or
there's lots of, I mean, for my level at the moment, I just need just normal riding school where I learn the basics. And then for the actual test, what you're going to need later on, like, riding with a sword, do some formation work, there's certain places you can go training. Yeah, definitely.
And also, as we discussed, that they changed the rules. If they change it so it's more hard, aren't they afraid that there will not be enough people for that? Or
I think one of the things was so many people applying as well. I think they wanted to stop a little bit. But then what happened, it was not enough performer for the amount of work after COVID. So that was one of me as well. Lots of people started working without being in the association, but already work for the same, same rate, everything is the same. You don't legally have to be part of, you can work without it. And that's why it's a bit changing again a little bit. Again, lots of things in the pipeline. I've heard about lots of stuff, what they're going to change. So I think it's going to be for a better change.
So I guess let's say if you know people, you can be a stuntman without being part of this, right?
Yes, exactly. I think that's like with everything else in life. If you do the right connection, the right people, and you are good, yes, you're going to have to work. But I spoke with someone, for example, recently. He's working like on major big productions, like big ones. He's doubling big actors. But even he said he wouldn't need it, but he said he still wants to do the trainings because you're just going to be more respected. And, you belong to something this big, I think is always good.
So does majority of people on a set have it? Are they part of this?
In the UK?
Yes.
I would say yes. Yeah. There's always like, when they can't find certain looks or they haven't got enough people not there, they're going to get in other people from. But also recently, lots of guys coming from overseas, very good stunt guys from France, from Spain, Bulgaria, they're very good. And they're working a lot here as well. Hungarian as well. Lots of Hungarian work for the Game of Thrones and all the series.
Yeah, so excited. Thank you for listening to Produced By. Subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app, leave a review, or send us your feedback. For more information about the host, links from the episode, and ways to connect with us, visit the show notes. If you know someone who would be an ideal guest for our podcast, please get in touch. Thank you and see you soon.